Hey there guys, welcome back to my channel, Houseplant Therapy. My name is Chris and this is my house where I consider plants to be a therapeutic lifestyle. I also like aquarium plants too, I'm not biased. So in today's video, well actually we've been doing a video series on the ZZ plant. We've been doing tons of videos and I reached out to you guys in the community and you guys asked some really great questions and I wanted to touch base on what type of soil or potting mix you should be using for the ZZ plant. This is a beautiful, beautiful house plant, and a lot of people have questions, especially beginners, and I figured it would be really cool to kind of talk about this and answer the questions when it comes to figuring out a soil mix for your ZZ plant. So as you guys probably know, the ZZ plant, the number one killer to this plant is overwatering this plant. And a lot of times what happens is people water it in too close of time spans together. You know, a lot of new houseplant keepers, what they do is they bring home this beautiful, beautiful plant and they water it too often because it's really easy to just kind of like micro obsess about this one plant. And maybe you need to buy a bunch of more houseplants so that you have the time to kind of neglect your plants and let them just do their thing. But no, honestly guys, what I'm telling you is, God, look at the sheen of these leaves. It's ridiculous. Like that's the number one reason you need a ZZ plant in your house. So what I'm getting at is the number one destroyer of this plant is overwatering it. So that should tell us what type of soil mix or dirt or soil we need in the pot for this plant. But I first want to tell you, if you're thinking about changing the potting mix or the soil to your ZZ plant, you should know that if your plant is doing well and it's growing new shoots of green foliage, that you shouldn't touch the soil mix of this thing. The only time you should worry about your ZZ plant, like the soil, is that if something is wrong. Because a lot of times, if your plant came straight from the nursery, that these nurseries know what they're doing with the media or the dirt and soil, and a lot of times you don't have to worry about it. But if something is wrong, that's probably when you should worry. The number one case that happens to people on the ZZ plant is that the leaves start to turn yellow. And what'll happen is an entire shoot of leaves will turn yellow. That's a dead giveaway that there's something wrong in the soil and you're probably overwatering this plant or there's water sitting in the bottom. So, but that's sort of the long answer. The short answer is what type of soil, dirt, potting mix should the ZZ plant have? That's a fast draining soil mix. So what you should do is a lot of times people, what they'll do is they'll go out and get some regular potting soil. And what they'll do is they'll mix it with a cactus soil mix, which is a dry mix. It has orchid bark and other stuff in it that kind of dry the mix up. So perlite is also in there. So what you want to do is mix the potting soil maybe like with a 60% regular potting soil and the other 40% maybe like the cactus mix. And that kind of helps dry it out. We also have other videos on how to take care of this plant and also how to repot it. We have literally videos on so much stuff. So, and if you guys like plant stuff like this, consider subscribing. But yeah, guys, if your ZZ plant is doing okay and you're getting new shoots and everything's going well and you're not overwatering it, a lot of times just leaving this plant alone and neglecting it is the best case scenario for this plant, honestly. I always tell people, just sort of, if everything seems fine, you don't have yellow leaves, just leave it alone and continue what you're doing. Don't move it. A lot of times these plants have to transfer and kind of like get used to the new ecosystem or spot that they're in your household. But yeah, I think that about covers it, guys. Without further ado, this is kind of a short video. I'm just doing a bunch of video series to kind of help people and people ask these questions. If houseplants are your thing or maybe you're into aquarium plants, please subscribe to the channel. We also have another channel on fish tanks. I just hit 60,000 subscribers. That channel is called Palmer Aquatics. So if you want to check that out, that's our logo. But yeah, we just hit 60,000 subscribers. That's really cool. I love aquarium plants as well because they're just absolutely amazing. Dude, I just ran into this piece of driftwood. That's a cool decoration. I'm glad I'm so tall. But yeah, guys, hit me up in the comment section. Hopefully this video helped you learn like what type of soil potting mix you should be using for your ZZ plant. It's a beautiful house plant. I love you guys. Without further ado,